Ok. 感觉好好啊。 Non.
Yo. Make money is about providing value. Generally, the main way of providing value are by creating goods or by selling services. So when it comes to goods, you can ask yourself what are the things that people need or want, so therefore have value to their life. And when it comes to services, you can ask yourself, what can I do that other people want or need or don't want to do that can therefore add value to their life? And again, it's a pretty simple thing, but within the realm of goods, there's physical goods and digital goods. I like digital goods personally because they don't have a cost of production. It's very easy. You're very unlikely to lose money on those things. And when it comes to services, it's like a zillion things that you can do within whatever industry, whatever hobby, whatever passion. And thinking about those two different methods of value delivery, services are generally a pretty easy place to start. Like teaching the guitar to random people in your neighborhood, or providing busking as a service. It's generally a lot harder to make goods or create products or create stuff. But generally, the goods thing is much more scalable and isn't directly tied to your time. So again, you just might want to think about it in those two dimensions when it comes to figuring out how to make money from your hobby. And to be honest, if you're interested in selling any kind of good or any kind of service, either in person or online, your single best way of doing that is by using Shopify, who are very kindly sponsoring this video. Shopify is amazing. It's a fantastic, all-in-one, easy-to-use e-commerce platform that lets you sell basically anything to people in over 175 countries with hundreds and hundreds of different payment methods. It makes it super easy to make a website where you can sell your goods or services if you want to monetize your passions, but it also helps you sell directly on social. And so, for example, you can sell things on Instagram or on TikTok where there's already an audience built into the thing, so you don't have to necessarily go out and find your own audience to go to your website. Shopify powers all sorts of businesses, from small ones like my online store where I sell my little stationery and some of my courses, all the way to huge, absolutely enormous brands like Gymshark. And overall, it's just an incredible platform that really scales with you every step of the way. They've got thousands and thousands of integrations with all sorts of services. And so if you want to dabble with dropshipping, you can. If you want to get logistics and distribution for a physical product taken care of, you can. All of these different third-party apps can plug directly into Shopify. And so it makes it super easy to run your store as a part-time gig. If you want to learn more, head over to shopify.com/million-dollar, and you can find out more on that website and also start free trial. So thank you so much, Shopify, for sponsoring this video. Tip number 5, if you want to make money, is to appreciate what are the areas, what are the overlaps of audience and value that actually leads to making more money than usual. Now, generally, if you can provide a good or a service that helps people save time or that helps people make money, the ROI, the return on investment on that thing for that person is going to be very tangible, and so you're far more likely to make money from the thing. Alternatively, if you choose your audience in a way that you're choosing people who have money and who want to spend money, it's a lot easier to make money than if you target people who are completely broke. This is why, famously, I don't like selling stuff to students. I don't like targeting students as an audience of stuff. Students famously don't have money and don't like spending money. Whereas if you target parents, if, for example, you're teaching kids how to play the guitar, you wouldn't actually be targeting the kids themselves because kids don't have money to spend on that service. you might be targeting the parents. And so that might inform like what flyers you give out or like what Facebook groups you're part of, because those are the parents who have the money who want to spend that money on their kids. And finally, tip number 6, which I think is a very underappreciated way of making money, is to recognize the difference between selling to an individual and selling to a business. So if you sell to an individual, people are buying stuff for their personal life. Whereas if you're selling to a business or a business owner, they are buying stuff for their business. You only really start to fully appreciate this when you go to business. But the way that, for example, I as a business owner think about spending money in my business is completely different to how I think about spending money in my personal life. Because I know that when I spend money on my business, A, it's tax deductible, and therefore I'll just almost throw money away into business for things because I know I'm saving on tax on that. Secondly, when I spend money from the business, the amount of money in the business bank account and the business assets is astronomically higher than the amount of money that I have personally as an individual for various reasons. And this is basically true of all business owners as well. And thirdly, when I spend money as a business, I know that I'm going to get some kind of return on it, whether it's saving time or making money or any of those things. Whereas when I spend money as an individual, it's a lot harder to appreciate the ROI of that. And so this is actually a surprisingly simple way of actually making money from your passions. Figure out how can I possibly sell this as a service to a local business. It's so hard to sell to individuals. People are very, very, very price sensitive. Even if you're trying to sell someone who has loads of money, they're going to be very price sensitive in their personal life, but they're going to be completely price insensitive in their business life. And this is actually an untapped market. Like most people, when they think about trying to make money, because you are an individual, probably if you're watching this, rather than a business owner, and therefore you're thinking like an individual, the problems that you're imagining that you can solve are problems that other individuals have. But as soon as you get any amount of experience in a business or running a business or working for a business or having some kind of management role in a business, you start to appreciate, oh my freaking God, there are all these problems out there that all of these local businesses face. No one is like helping them solve these problems. And so if I can be the one to provide that service, I could potentially make large amounts of money. Part 3, the dangers of trying to make money from your hobbies. So we've talked about all the reasons why making money from your hobbies is a good thing. And I've shared a few tips that I've found personally helpful that other people I know have found helpful for making money from their hobbies. But there is like a darker side to this. And that is that sometimes, and in some circumstances, making money from your hobbies can actually completely remove the joy of the hobby itself. Let's say your hobby is to do art, and you really enjoy making paintings of scenes from fantasy books or whatever, and you then try to make it your full-time job. What you're going to find is that actually you're spending 90% of your time doing random business admin, trying to do sales and marketing and get leads and deal with clients and find commissions for your artwork, trying to upload them to appropriate platforms, trying to build an audience. All of the stuff which is basically not actually doing the art. I've got plenty of friends at this point who are musicians, and until they get to the point where they've got a manager or a business manager who can deal with all of that faff, they end up finding that they're spending like 10% of their time doing the music thing, which is the thing they love, and the rest of their time actually trying to deal with the machinery that comes with trying to turn that thing into a business. And so really the way to get around this is to appreciate that this is going to be a thing, and to not feel the need to make your hobby into a full-time job. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you'll probably, enjoy it to an extent. But if you have like a day job that you enjoy, and that's like paying the bills and stuff, it's totally okay to keep your hobby as a hobby. You might see people like me, it's all about side hustles, passive income, all that kind of stuff. And you might think that thing of like, if you monetize your passion, you'll never have to work a day in your life. But like, you will. Like at this point, I know loads of people who are full-time creators, allegedly making a living from doing the thing that they love. They all think of it as work or as a chore, some of the time, including myself. And it's actually quite hard to kind of counteract that intrinsic bias towards feeling like something's a bit of a chore when it becomes the source of your livelihood. And so if you're going to go down that route of monetizing your hobbies, try your best to not necessarily make it a requirement to survive, to sustain your life. Even if the income is astronomical, it's still useful to have diverse multiple streams of income. And secondly, try your best to retain autonomy, to retain control and power over the thing that you're doing. Because generally, as we've seen from the research, autonomy, power, control leads to that feeling of intrinsic motivation. But as soon as you start doing the thing for someone else, for the sake of someone else, or for the sake of an extrinsic instrumental reason, it kind of sucks some of the joy out of the thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you got to this point, then thank you so much for watching. You might like to check out the rest of the videos in the Money Club playlist. So I made a little playlist for you right over here that you can check out. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye. How to figure out what to do with your life. I quit being a doctor after 8 years of training, and these 2 techniques helped me make that decision. Firstly, the gravestone technique. What are the 3 things that you would want written on your gravestone when you're dead? For me, it's some combination of good father, good husband, and inspirational teacher.